What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Daniel and welcome back to another video. Today I want to do something a little bit different than I've normally done on the channel. On Tuesday, NASCAR announced the nominees for the 2021 NASCAR Hall of Fame, the possible people that get in the Hall of Fame. We had new people like Jeff Burton, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Carl Edwards, among others like Jake Elder and Banjo Matthews added to the list for the first time in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and others returned. So what got me thinking was, why not talk about guys that currently racing in a sport, not retired or past, like Junior Edwards and Jeff Burton? Why not talk about drivers who I think in the foreseeable future should be considered up for the Hall of Fame? Keep this in mind, these are all people that are currently in or in around the sport. I'm not just saying, I'm talking about people who are like crew chiefs, NASCAR drivers, and there is one NASCAR commentator that I would consider in the Hall of Fame. You can leave your opinions who I left out, and you can explain your reasoning why those guys should be considered for Hall of Fame. But these are guys and people in the sport that I consider Hall of Fame worthy. Let's just jump straight into it. So the first person, and we're going to start with the drivers. The first person, and this is not even a question, is going to be seven-time NASCAR champion Jimmie Johnson. Like I just mentioned, he has 7 championships, 83 career wins, 2 Daytona 500s from 2006 and 2013. He has 4 Brickyard 400 wins, 2006, 2008, 2009, and 2012. He has 4 Coca-Cola 600 wins, 3 straight from 2003, 2005, and in 2014. He has 2 Southern 500 wins in 2004 and 2012. He has 11 Dover wins, 9 Martinsville wins, 8 Charlotte wins, and 7 Texas wins. When you think of NASCAR currently, of legends in the sport, Jimmie Johnson comes to mind. I've always supported Jimmie Johnson as the driver, and I think his accomplishments just see why I think he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's not even a contest. When you have the same amount of championships as Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty, you're going to get in your first time. And not only that, it is arguable that Jimmie Johnson is the greatest NASCAR driver of all time. Yes, Richard Petty has 7 championships and 200 wins, but the competition for Richard Petty back in the day was less than what Jimmie Johnson has to go through now. He had a lot tougher competition, Jimmie Johnson did. And Dale Earnhardt had pretty tough competition too. But Jimmie Johnson, I think, has had the toughest competition of the 3 7-time champions. You look at guys he's raced, and some of those guys are even on this list and past retired drivers. He's going to be, in my opinion, in the Hall of Fame as a first-year ballot, even with the new Hall of Fame rules. He will be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Up next on the NASCAR Hall of Fame, once Jimmie Johnson retires, the next greatest driver, Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch right now has 2 championships. He has 56 career wins. However, if you combine all 3 series, because we kind of have to do that, he has 209 wins. He won the 2018 Coca-Cola 600. He is a 2-time Brickyard 400 winner consecutive years in 2015 and 2016. He won the Southern 500 in 2008, and he also won the Xfinity Series Championship in 2009. Kyle Busch. Arguably, I used to not be a big fan of Kyle Busch myself, but if you look at Kyle Busch's accomplishments as a race car driver, he is unbelievably incredible. He's only 35 years old. Think about it. He's only like 35 years old right now, and he's still winning races left, right, and center. He's been winning races since he got to the Cup Series at the age of 20 years old, and he's arguably one of the most dominant drivers in the sport in NASCAR history. Kyle Busch, to me, serves a champion and a Hall of Famer. Kyle Busch also, I think, is going to win another 20-something races in his career. Yes, the 2020 season has not gone up to the right start for Kyle Busch, but I think Kyle Busch will continue to be a dominant force in the future, and he will be the greatest driver once Jimmie Johnson does end up retiring. Up next on my list of future NASCAR Hall of Famers, we have Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick has 1 championship to his belt in 2014. He has 2 Xfinity Series championships in 2001 and 2006, 49 career Cup Series wins. He won the 2007 Daytona 500 in a thrilling finish between him and Mark Martin. He has 2 Brickyard 400 wins in 2003, 2019. He has 2 Coca-Cola 600 wins in 2011 and 2013. And he also has a Southern 500 in 2014. When I think of a driver who is consistently incredible and came up and Took over for Dale Earnhardt in 2001. You think of Kevin Harvick, he's the guy who replaced Dale Earnhardt, but he's also known as one of the most consistent drivers in the sport. At Richard Childers, you could tell when he ran for that team, he was going to be a star in the making. And he has had more success at SHR in the last 6 or 7 seasons than he ever had with Richard Childers. He won a championship in his first season at Stewart-Haas Racing, and he got to show off his true nature. Kevin Harvick, in my opinion, is going to be a NASCAR Hall of Famer because of those stats, and he will be a driver that we're going to be talking about for the next years. And I expect him to almost get the 60 wins before his career is over. Up next on my list is the only non-champion on this list, Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin currently right now has 38 career wins. He has 3 Daytona 500 wins in 2016 and back-to-back Daytona 500s in 2019 and 2020. And he has 2 Southern 500 wins, 2010, 2017. Albeit in 2017, he kind of cheated because he would failed inspection after the race, and he would not have won that race had the inspection rules for 2019 come into play 2 years ago. Denny Hamlin, to me, is one of NASCAR's best drivers to never win a championship. And it's between him and Mark Martin, who is the greatest driver to never win a NASCAR Cup Series championship or NASCAR championship in general. Denny Hamlin's always been talented. He won, I think he had 12 or 13 straight years when he won a race. He didn't win in 2018, but he's won the last 2 straight years, and he's been able to be considered one of the best. But Denny Hamlin, to me, is a driver who has deserved to win championships. 2010 comes to mind. 2010, he looked like he was going to win that title. He had a bad race at Phoenix, and at Homestead he spun out and didn't really have a chance to recover. And then last year, he unfortunately lost due to overeating issues. But that does not diminish how good of a driver Denny Hamlin truly is. 38 wins is something not to look over, and I think Denny Hamlin deserves to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Up next on my list is the other Busch brother, Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch has 1 championship, the inaugural Chase Championship in 2004. He won the Coca-Cola 600 in 2010, and he also won the Daytona 500 in 2017. Currently, at the moment, he has 31 wins. And another thing to know, he won the 2014 Indy 500 Rookie of the Year. So he's Rookie of the Year in Indianapolis in 2014. Kurt Busch all around is a driver that I think has been really good at pretty much every team he's gone to, except we're not going to count the Phoenix Racing team, the 51 organization. But other than that, he's been really good, and he's done better in the equipment as shown. Roush, he did really strong in his first year as a Roush. Unfortunately, got fired in 2005. Went to Penske, did really well over there. Then he went over to Furniture Row after Phoenix Racing. He went over to Furniture Row Racing, and he got that team their first, really, really strong year. And they made their first ever playoffs. I think Kurt Busch and another guy on this list is what made Furniture Row really, really great. He never won a race at Furniture Row, but he outperformed the equipment that he had. And Kurt Busch then went to SHR. He was able to be a consistently really strong driver. He won every single season at Stewart-Haas Racing. He was there. So that's really cool to know. And a Chip Ganassi Racing and a car that didn't even make the playoffs. He got that car in the playoffs. I thought he was going to make the round of 8, honestly. Unfortunately, the round of 16 did not go very well. But Kurt Busch, to me, is a driver that definitely deserves to be a NASCAR Hall of Famer. Up next on my list is going to be the first Penske driver on this list, Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski won the 2012 NASCAR Cup Series Championship. He won the Xfinity Series Championship in 2010. He won the Southern 500 and Brickyard 400 both in 2018. And currently at this moment, he has 30 career wins. While tension is still going around at Team Penske between him and Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski is arguably one of the most consistent drivers and one of the most talented drivers in the sport. I have so much respect for Brad Keselowski because of what he's accomplished in the sport, in and out of the sport for that matter. And a guy that I think that he's right in a lot of things he says. I think he's a very smart driver, and he knows what he wants in a car. And he's a driver that we're going to be seeing for years to come. And we expect him possibly to go to Hendrick Motorsports if Jimmie Johnson does retire here in the next few years. But Brad Keselowski is a championship driver and a driver not afraid to take risks and a very aggressive driver, but has gotten a lot of success from that aggression. He's had feuds in the past, but Brad Keselowski, in my eyes, is a future NASCAR Hall of Famer. The second to last driver on my list, we're going to one of my personal favorite NASCARs. In fact, my current favorite NASCAR driver of the drivers on this list, Martin Truex Jr. Mark Truex Jr. won the championship in 2017. He is a two-time Xfinity Series championship, both back-to-back years in 2004 and 2005. He has 26 career wins, 2 Coca-Cola 600s in 2016, 2019, and he also won the Southern 500 in 2016. Mark Truex Jr. for the first 10 years really didn't have a lot to show in his career from 2006 to 2013. He was only able in those first 2 years to score wins in Dover 2007 and 2013 with Michael Waltrip Racing at Sonoma. But when he got into Furniture Row Racing, he just turned it up. 2015 wins Pocono, and once he goes and gets that alliance with Joe Gibbs Racing, he just starts showing it. In 2016, he scored 4 wins. 2017, scored 7 wins in 2017, I think it was. In 2018, he just won a lot of races in 2017. He was 6 or 7 wins in 2017. He's just incredible what Mark Truex Jr. did. And Mark Truex Jr. is, while he's one of the best drivers in NASCAR currently at this moment, and a driver we're going to be seeing for the next few years, because he's probably in the waning portion of his career at this point, since he's been in the sport for about 15 years. But I would put Mark Truex Jr., in my honest opinion, in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And now, we get to the final driver on my list currently at the moment. We're going to talk about Joey Logano, and that's a controversial one. Joey Logano has 1 championship, 25 career wins. He is the youngest Cup Series winner, the driver to win a Cup Series race at the age of 19 years old, and he also has a Daytona 500 win. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Why are you putting Joey Logano in the Hall of Fame? He's only 30 years old. Joey Logano's been in sport for 12 seasons. He's been in sport for a very long time. And to think that he's not even 30, he's going to be turning 30 this year, but to know that he's not even turned 30 yet at this current moment, and he already has 25 career wins, and he's leading Team Penske at the moment, I think that alone is what makes Joey Logano a NASCAR Hall of Famer. He still has a long career ahead of him. He's probably got 10 to 15 years left in his career. He could win 50 to 60 races before his career is over. He'll probably end up being a Team Penske for pretty much his whole entire career. But Joey Logano, in my eyes, deserves to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, off of the fact that he already has 25 career wins. That is incredible. And yes, some people said he doesn't deserve it because of how bad he was at Joe Gibbs. But you have to remember, he was very young. He went to Penske at the age of 23 years old. And since then, he's been taking the reins at Team Penske. And he's going to be a driver that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, in my eyes. So, those are all the NASCAR drivers who are in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Now let's get into the crew chiefs. And there are 4 crew chiefs that I can think of who deserve to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. The first one that I think deserves to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame is Rodney Childers. He has 1 championship as a crew chief, and he has 26 career wins with Kevin Harvick. Ever since Rodney Childers went over and worked with Kevin Harvick, those two have been a match made in heaven. And 26 wins as a crew chief, especially with a driver who's very talented and really, really good. Rodney Childers also has season success. He won a race in 2013 with Brian Vickers, and he also won the 2009 Coca-Cola 600 with David Rudiman. So he's had a lot of success in his career as a crew chief. I think Rodney Childers and Kevin Harvick are a dynamic duo together. They're going to be together for years to come, as he re-signed with Kevin Harvick last year, NSHR last year. Rodney Childers, in my eyes, deserves to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Up next in the crew chiefs, we are going to go with Cole Pearn. Cole Pearn, unfortunately, did announce his retirement last year, but you have to look at his numbers. 24 career wins as a crew chief and 1 championship, 2017. I think he's one of the reasons Mark Truex Jr. is as successful as he is today. When he went to join Mark Truex Jr., because Mark Truex Jr. in 2014 had a very lackluster season. They finished 23rd in the standings when he was with Todd Berrier. In 2015, once he goes with Mark Truex Jr., Mark Truex Jr. immediately becomes a championship contender. And last year, 2019, you talk about a championship caliber season. 7 wins in 2019. That is why, in my opinion, Cole Pearn should be also a NASCAR Hall of Famer. Up next in the crew chiefs, this one should be a no question one as well. Chad Knaus. Chad Knaus, 7 championships, 81 career wins, 7 of those with Jimmie Johnson. You talk about a guy who knows how to get it done as a crew chief. He's making William Byron a lot better as a driver. William Byron, before Chackenhouse came to the team, finished 23rd in the standings with Darian Grubb. I'm not saying Darian Grubb is a bad crew chief. He's a really good crew chief. I just think that William Byron was inexperienced. William Byron in his second year with Chackenhouse went from finishing 23rd in the standings to finishing in the round of 12 the next year. It drastically improved. That's because Chackenhouse won. That team got more consistent because Chackenhouse was up there. I just think Chackenhouse in general has led championship caliber drivers 2002, 2017. He led Jimmie Johnson to a lot of success. And William Byron currently at the moment, 2019 and 2020. He's been dealing a decent year 2020, but 2019 to me proved why William Byron is arguably Chackenhouse is arguably a NASCAR Hall of Famer. Not arguably, it's a no doubt question. He's a Hall of Famer. And the final crew chief that I think deserves to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame is Adam Stevens. 2 championships in 2015 and 2019 and 27 wins. He had a lot of success in Xfinity before he came out to the Cup Series, and he's only the second crew chief in NASCAR history to win a championship as a rookie. Jeff Hammond did that in 1982, which I don't know why Jeff Hammond's not in the NASCAR Hall of Fame at the moment. But Adam Stevens, in my eyes, deserves to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame for being a really successful crew chief and leading Kyle Busch also, I think, to mature a little bit more. Yes, Kyle Busch is still not a mature driver, but Adam Stevens is a mentor for Kyle Busch. He's kind of helped Kyle Busch over the last 5 to 6 years. And Kyle Busch, because of Adam Stevens, I think he's been a much more successful driver because Adam Stevens has been driving Kyle Busch to be a better driver. So that is why Adam Stevens, in my eyes, is a NASCAR Hall of Famer. Now we get into the others, and there's only one other person that I can think of who still is in NASCAR to this day who does deserve to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. This guy is one of the best commentators in history. I'm not talking about Alan Bestwick. Yes, Alan Bestwick is a very fantastic commentator, but I want to say that my guy is Mike Joy. Mike Joy, to me, is a commentator that has been around the sport for such a long time. He has covered 41 Daytona 500s in his time. Many of those at CBS and 17 of those with Fox Sports. When you think of Fox Sports, you think of Darrell Waltrip, but you also think of Mike Joy. And you think of CBS, you think of the calls in 1998 Daytona 500 call. You think of the 2007 Daytona 500 call. You think of the 2010 Talladega call. You think of what Mike Joy has done as a commentator over the years. And talk about a guy who's had a lot of success as a commentator. Mike Joy, in my eyes, as he's probably getting close to retirement, he's done also a really good job with the iRacing broadcast. But Mike Joy is essentially one of the best ever commentators I have ever seen. Yes, he has a lot of dad jokes. Yes, those can get annoying at times. But when you think of a guy who does it really, really well, you think of Mike Joy. So yeah, those are my people who I think deserve to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. So, who do you guys think should be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications on so you can be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on all my social medias, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links in the description below for that. And comment below your thoughts and opinions on today's video. Like I said, who do you think deserves to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame? Let me know below. Do you think I'm wrong on some of my selections? Let me know also below. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.